Faith or fear? Who is your conductor? Welcome to episode 52 of the School of Shred, the one and only. Good morning, everybody. Today we're going to talk about mindset because it's Wednesday. We're halfway through the week, and we got some things we got to talk about. And that is what's guiding our decisions. Who is our conductor in our minds? Is it faith or is it fear? And we're going to get into that and what that can mean. So before we do that, let me know where you guys are at, where you're located. Go ahead and throw a flex emoji in the comments like we do every day. And let me know where you're at. Let me know where Shred Nation is. All right. It's a beautiful Wednesday morning here. We at my household had to mow the yard at like 7:45, 7:30 this morning, which I know if you're my neighbor, you'd probably hate me right now. We're having some lawnmower issues, and it's been about 6 weeks of no lawnmower to this point right now. So we had to go rent one, and we got the backyard done yesterday, and then had to finish out the front yard today. But we had to get that lawnmower back by 10. And I got to go to work after this, and so does my lovely girlfriend. So being the champion she fired that bad boy up at 7:30, woke up all the neighbors, and we got the front yard done in about 10 minutes and then took that back. So what's going on, everybody? What's going on now? People are jumping on. Again, I'm going to go over the topic today. It's faith or fear. Who is your conductor? We're going to talk about what is guiding decisions and how we might be able to improve them. Welcome to the show that helps you shred your old and make better your new. And today we're going to talk about mindset. And I'm going to ask you guys a question as we begin here. I want you to take out a pen and a journal. I want you to write down one belief that may be holding you back from reaching your goal. And it can be hard, especially if you feel like you got momentum right now. But what's one belief pattern that might be trapping you in this fear-based mindset, this fear-based way of thinking that I'm going to get into today? Okay, so everybody jumping on. Let's do this thing. Let's go, Shred Nation. Episode 52. So what's your operating system? You have faith and you have fear. They're two dominating ways of thinking and operating throughout your life. Okay, and one is going to be a fear-based mindset. That's the fear of criticism, the fear of failure. What if it doesn't work out? What if you don't hit your goal? That ego that likes to talk to us and keep us from our own greatness and our own potential. Sometimes we have a fear-based mindset when it comes to just changing and growing. There's a weird thing that happens. I've had to examine it throughout my 20s because I came from limited mindset. I grew up lower middle class. My parents struggled. All my friends' parents struggled. Lot of addiction issues with, my environment growing up. And that's all my friends had the same exact issues. We were all dealing with alcoholic parents or, drugs and things like that. And so what I've noticed is there is a story that I tell myself that I've had to change over the last 10 years to create the life that I want and to be free, to free myself from that. But it's a story. And so a lot of times when we rattle our ego and we make it uncomfortable, because our egos don't like certainty, or they don't like uncertainty, rather. They like certainty. They like keeping you comfortable. It's okay. Go ahead and watch Netflix. Go ahead and just sit back. Go ahead and drink more alcohol. Go ahead and sedate your life away. When you start becoming more uncertain and you got to get into those shaky waters of development and reaching your goals and believing in yourself. And when you believe in yourself, you start doing things that you're living a life of uncertainty. When you create new, the ego doesn't like that. And so sometimes we come up with these own stories and these own belief patterns that hold us back from our potential. And that's fear-based thinking. The ego is the chief conductor of fear. Okay, and it stops us from thinking. The ego says you're not good enough. It says that's for those people out there, not you. That's for those people. All that success that everybody has, that healthy body, that lean body, that toned muscular body, that's for those people. That's not for you. And then the ego will start to come up with all sorts of reasons why. Like, you don't have the time. You're busy. We don't got time to work out. Those people out there are special because they probably got 2 or 3 hours to work out every day and to get their body in shape. Those people were blessed with a positive mental attitude. I have real problems in my life. That's what the ego will have you believe, which is fear-based thinking, the fear-based pattern. And I know because I struggle with this, and I have to have my own rituals every day that I use my shameless plug journal right here to get right with first thing in the morning. Because every day you have a fork in the road, which is you can have a fear-based mindset when you go into your day. You can have a faith-based mindset, which is belief. And we're going to get at that in a second. And that ego can also say your circumstance is different, right? How many of us feel like we have a uniquely challenging opportunity that we have to overcome? And so you might have work, you got to put food on the table. You just don't have the time. You don't have the resources. You don't have the money. There's all sorts of fear-based reasons that hold us back. And that's our belief system that's rooted in fear. And we got to change that. So that's why today I want you guys to take out a pen and a journal and write down one belief pattern that might be holding you back from reaching your goal. You don't got to share it with anybody. I've told you mine. I've been honest with you. Be honest with yourself today. It can help you out a lot. There's a cool thing that I saw in a personal development coaching seminar I was at one time a few years ago. And it was fear is false evidence appearing real. All right, false evidence appearing real. I really like that. So now, what is a faith-based mindset? What is a faith-based mindset? If we want to turn off fear, we want to get into this faith-based mindset. Well, what is it? Is it religion? No, I'm not talking about religion when I say faith. I'm not talking about organized religion, although that might help you. But I'm not here touting any major religion at all, other than the relationship with self and your intuition. So a lot of times God and the devil could be taken as a metaphor, I feel. It doesn't have to be a religious thing. But anyway, whatever your belief is, good for you. I mean, we should have that. So, but belief is the first thing of faith, is believing you can get better, believing the outcome is worth the journey. Believe in it. Believe in it so much that it starts to create a definiteness of purpose, which is my man, Napoleon Hill. I talk about him numerous times a week. Great author. You should read his books. Talks about definiteness of purpose, and that keeps you from drifting. And drifting is what gets you into hypnotic rhythm, where life starts to happen to you. You quit seeing life as happening for you. If you can believe it, you guys, you can achieve it. And so a way that you can help believe it is you can write cards. You can have cards. I've talked about this before. You can do affirmation cards. You can read and write out the things that you want to achieve. You put, I will do this. I am this. You read those to train your subconscious. You might say it's woo-woo, but it helps train your belief pattern. And that's all part of a faith-based mindset. It's the sixth sense. It's controlling your thinking, controlling your brain through belief. If you can believe it, you can achieve it. And then definiteness of purpose. So this is important. So examine and identify what you want and become definite in the end result. And then where faith comes in is if you know what your end result is and you know that's what you're striving for, say it's to lose 20 pounds, then be open to the opportunities as they avail themselves to you. Be open to those opportunities of what the path is going to be, because the path is going to be not this nice straight line. It's going to be an awfully squiggly line. If you've ever seen the pictures out there on the internet with success as a very weird squiggly line, well, that's kind of how it is. So even getting to your goals in fitness and health, it can be like that. But know your end goal. I had a client the other day I was talking to about this. We got his goal. We know we have a 12-week goal with him, or no, 8-week goal, I believe. And we came up with all this stuff, and it was like, do you think I can do this? And I go, I think from a physiological standpoint, you can absolutely do this. What you need to do now is train your brain to accept these results. And so I'm having him do some drills like this where I'm trying to change his belief pattern too, where he has to read his own cards that he writes. That's, I will be certain number of weight on this day. And he's going to read that every day. And that's going to create the path for him, because everything he does, he's training his mind that that's who he is. And so he will start to become that over time, because thoughts become things. So examine what you want, know the end result, and then have faith that the opportunities will present themselves. And then when you're looking for those forks in the road that lead to your goal, that's what starts to happen is, as you know the end result of what you want, you start to take the fork in the road. Maybe you get 30 extra minutes today, and you know that your goal is you want to lose, say 20 pounds, like I said, whatever that is for you. You get 30 extra minutes. You're like, well, you know what? Maybe I can go for a walk right now. And that's going to help my goal. And so these are these little decisions you're not going to be aware of if you're not definite in your purpose. Huge, awesome lesson from Napoleon Hill that's changed my life. And then protect and control your mind, people. Protect and control your mind. Nourish that bad boy. I try to talk about this as much as possible because I think it's super important, because this right here has helped me. And so from personal experience, this helps. And I remember being a young, naive kid and going to some cool business seminars and men who were in their 30s and in their 40s who were successful financially and in business, and they were great leaders, and they had, a team of people around them, beautiful families and whatnot, pillars in their community, would talk about this idea of protecting your mind. But the way they would say it is they were talking about visual nutrition of reading. Turn off the news, turn off all the toxic stuff in this world that's got you trapped in fear. All this stuff where it's doom and gloom and everybody's dying and things are on fire and it's yada yada yada. It's like you can learn about that and not be super absorbed in it. You can take a couple minutes, know what's going on, have some cultural relevance, know what's going on in the world, and then get back to filling your head with mental vitamins, auditory and visual. And so reading books, listening to good audio books, reading positive quotes every day, engaging in positive activities, staying away from toxic relationships. Control your mind, because that's your superpower, is what you're thinking about, what's going on between your two ears. Okay, so own your thoughts. Nourish positivity daily. You can do a gratitude journal. That's a great way to nourish positivity. Speak from your heart with the people in your life. Tell them how much they mean to you. Develop those relationships. Be cheesy if you need to. Share your heart with people. That is, you're protecting your mind, you're nourishing positivity, you're giving other people positivity, and you will get that back. So to end here today, I want you guys, again, I'm going to go over the challenge I have for you today, which is write down one belief that you have that might be holding you back from your goal. One fear-based belief pattern that might pop up, and realize that all this stuff is a gradient. On any one given day, we have multiple options and multiple decisions every day. So every day I make fear-based decisions and I make faith-based decisions. I try to utilize tools that I've come up with, whether that be a lot of the stuff I've listed. I try to come up with tools that keep me down the path of belief and faith. Okay. And so that's really what we're talking about here, is trying to leverage to where, say, if you're 50-50 right now, where it's 50% fear, 50% faith, Well, then try to get to a point where it's 75% faith, 25% fear, and you slowly chip away at fear over time. Because the more you believe in something, the less power fear has over you. Don't let fear control you. It's made up in your mind. It's holding you back from your potential. You're better than that. You have way more potential. If I can do it, you can do it. And here's a quote that's kind of a mixture of believe Thomas Jefferson and then Napoleon Hill kind of changed it in this one book, Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude. But it goes something like this. I want to end the show on that today. So write down your one belief that might be holding you back in a fear-based mindset and examine it. And when you examine it, you'll know how to change it from there and try to combat it with a faith-based belief. Okay, believe in yourself. That's episode 52. And to end today, just remember, nothing can stop the man or woman from achieving his or her goals through a positive mental attitude, faith. And nothing on earth can save a man or woman with a negative mental attitude, fear. With that, I want you guys to stay strong and healthy in body, stay relentless and energized in your spirit, and stay determined in your pursuits. If you guys are still with me, throw a few more flex emojis in the comments. Let's see a couple more contractions as we ended up today. Now go shred your day and get better in every way. Start living in faith. Stop giving fear control. We'll see you guys tomorrow.